Hey y'all, so I had a question on my video about learning yourself out of salvation. I got asked what prompted that video. So I saw a post on social media that talked about, that said there's no future rapture, no future mark of the beast, and there's no great tribulation coming up, right? And the person went on to say that they are myths from misunderstanding Hebraic texts written for a first century audience, okay? That really hit me because I was like, okay, well, what about Revelation? What about what Paul says in the book of Thessalonians? Or what about what Peter says in his epistles about the day of the Lord? And what about what Jesus says about the end times? I mean, that's completely disregarding all of those books and even what Jesus himself says. He says that in the comments, this person goes on to say that all of the prophecies had been fulfilled in the first century. All right, well, if that's the case, then what about Revelation? What about what Revelation says about the Great Tribulation and the mark of the beast? And what about the great falling away, which is obviously happening just by that post alone? It's showing that there's a great falling away and that there's doctrines of demons out there, okay? This is what I mean by people learning themselves out of salvation, okay? Because this person is completely going against what Jesus says in Revelation, even what Jesus says in his own Gospels, okay? So these people are learning themselves into foolishness and out of salvation. I see it all the time, to the point where people will learn so much that they end up denying Christ, and that Christ, is who he is, all right? Or who God says he is. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, we must be very careful about the people that we listen to, because if it goes against that word that God has given us, then you need to run from it. All right. That's pretty much what prompted that video. Okay, about learning yourself out of salvation. Okay, pretty much learning into foolishness, and it's ridiculous because I'm learning a lot more about how the spiritual things work, and how the Bible is really a spiritual book, and how things happen in the spirit. And the Bible talks about how the natural man, the head knowledge natural man, do not understand the things of God because they were spiritually appraised. So the natural man, the head knowledge person, does not understand the things of God because they're spiritual. And they use these big eloquent words to make themselves look smarter where they're really not. Okay, they don't understand spiritual things. Like I said, into foolishness and out of salvation. That's what I meant by that video. So have a great day.